Hey guys, Evil Master Alex here, and here we have the Assault Grenadier setup. So, first I'm gonna look at the MP40, your main weapon. I use DMW Fuchs. It gives you the best accuracy and stability, as well as some extra range at the cost of a teeny bit of damage, which actually makes your circle pretty sizable. I mean, it's actually pretty accurate when you're using hip fire, for instance. Slap on a scope to give it a little more accuracy. I use field trigger job. Uh, it only takes away stability over the other trigger, which takes away precision. This causes your circle to be much bigger. I'd prefer it to be a smaller circle with less stability. And as far as the internal, we have the lightning bolt. This takes away pretty much all the things that you get from the bullet mod, but you do get better rate of fire, but you don't lose too much from these three categories. You still kind of get an added benefit. And you shouldn't use a barrel because the barrels are just not useful. If it was like 10 meters, I might put a barrel on, but this looks like it's like nothing. So for grenades, I have the ranged Stielhandgranate, the pretty much starting grenade. This can help you get more ranged kills, or lob a grenade into a building that may be too high for the second type of grenade, which is the AoE, Area of Effect grenade, which I use for close encounters to most likely kill an enemy, opposed to this grenade, which will not have the sufficient splash to do so. And for the badges, I have two mobility type badges. I have fast reload, gold, which will help you, reload faster. You can pick up an enemy weapon and use that same kind of ability for it. You pick up a carbine, you can reload fast with it, so on and so forth. And for the second badge, you have Marathon Man, which helps with, pretty much your whole loadout here. You're using two types of grenades, which is kind of heavy, plus an MP40. Having Marathon Man is actually pretty helpful as like a actual assault grenadier. You need that sprint to be able to get to a building, a point pretty quickly, so you can do your damage. You don't need a half track. I use a motorbike because it helps you get to the point as quick as possible. Same for the Kuba wagon, the two faster vehicles to help you close the distance and let you do your damage.
Forward, march! Double time! Displacing! Verstanden! Fire, children!
In this scene here, you see me throwing a grenade. This guy knows that the area isn't safe, so he tries to get out of the room, which basically draws him into a trap. So the regular Stielhandgranate is best used when on top of a building, giving you better range, so you can throw the grenade even farther. If If you know the enemy is for sure more than 10 meters away and are behind a wall, use the regular starting cell line to throw it that extra 5 meters and get it over that obstacle to kill your enemy. It's always nice to get a little bit of extra damage on your enemy with one single use of a grenade, and then finish them off with your main weapon. Sometimes it's also nice to have grenades to cover your retreat when, say, throwing your grenades in a choke point or at a secondary spawn so you can quickly get away safely. Also, knowing the best time to throw a grenade is also key. You don't want to end up throwing your grenade and killing a teammate.
We're not staying here! It will belong to the Reich, my brothers! On the move! But we will take it for it! Move! Standing by! Awaiting order!
MP40 is best used indoors when fighting enemies at 5 meters or less. Try not to engage enemy targets that are over, say, 30 or 40 meters. Once it turns into kind of more range battle, you want to be starting to use selective fire. You want to like fire small bursts. You can't really kill anything beyond like 40 meters because it just becomes increasingly hard and you have less damage over range. Don't be afraid to pick up enemy weapons. You're most likely gonna run out of ammo sooner rather than later, so it's better to have the enemy's weapons so you start using up their ammunition. you have some decent space between you and your enemy, that gives you time to quickly pop your reload, just in case if you have more than one person to fight. So no matter the cost, if you're fighting an enemy that has a better weapon, try to get that better weapon and use it against their own team. Don't be afraid to pre-fire around corners. That'll ensure you'll most likely get the kill. This build doesn't have any anti-tank, so if you come across a tank, try to avoid it at all costs, and if possible, try to find a Faust so you can take out the tank. And one other downside though is that you may find yourself getting one hit killed by snipers, so if at all possible try to avoid them, but if there's too many snipers, don't use this build in that game. So all in all, the best time to use this setup is when you're assaulting a main objective or defending an objective. The burst time to use this build is, say, when the enemy team is full of one-hit kill rifles or tanks, and or the rush distance is enormous with absolutely no cover, like say the airfield map.